All right, so I'm here at Vino's. Can we step back just a little bit? There we go. I'm here at Vino's with my buddy Ellis. He's been vegan for 5 years. We just met.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Yeah. So Ellis, why'd you go vegan, man?
Well, my stomach said every time I ate something that said not to eat, it was bad. Just listen to my stomach.
Right.
That's basically why.
Right. So, but you've seen like what happens to animals and stuff. What do you think about that?
See, you know, circle of life and all that jazz, but we done went overboard, and we ain't in no type of natural situation with the farming the animals going on.
Right.
We farm plants all day, when we farm animals, it's a different situation.
Yeah, because the animals eat the plants,
The
right?
animals eat plants, and
Right.
that's a whole different situation when you talk about doing all that factory farming. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So Ellis, I'm Cole. What's your name?
Zachary.
Zachary?
I call him Zachary, but Snorlax.
I can see Snorlax. You like to sleep a lot?
Yes.
I do too. I like sleeping a lot. I like to sleep and I like to eat like tasty vegan food.
Yeah.
So I guess the question today, what was your name one more time? Zachary. Zachary, the question today is why aren't you vegan? I'm going to put you on the spot here.
I'm not vegan because my mom, she was making good food, and it was kind of hard to wean myself off of the stuff that I was eating as a kid, and it's translating over until now, like more so now since I'm in control of the portions and stuff like that. You know, I do a little chicken here, a little steak here every now and again.
Yeah.
Now, hold up. Now, I will say, Morningstar fucking patties are fire. The chicken patty, good. The beef crumble, the beef patty. Now, yeah. I'll probably eat 2 or 3 of those, even though it's supposed to be in moderation because it's vegan, but it's pretty good. My boy Ellis right here, he's put me on to a lot of good restaurants. I will say that definitely tastes very remnant of actual food.
Right.
I want to say the House of Mental for one.
House of Mental is great. I go there a lot. They're cauliflower wings or
The wings are fire. I'm not there. The wings are fire.
Macaroni fire.
The macaroni for it to be vegan.
So it sounds like you're almost like a good spokesperson for veganism
Like
too.
I'm not down to veganism, but at the same time, it's kind of like,
So you're
I'm
worried.
gonna die one day, and if I die, I'm gonna die full. And I say I won't get full off the vegan plate.
Why would we want to take animals with us though?
Okay,
You know?
that's a good question. That is a very good question.
Because don't animals like have lives and want to live too?
Yeah, they do. But sometimes they be looking good fried. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. That's just my
No, I
opinion.
understand. You know, 24 years I ate animals and stuff. And, you know, my grandma used to cook like biscuits and gravy and she put the eggs and the bacon grease. But I had to ask myself this, right? Is taste like a good enough reason to pay to confine these chickens or cows or pigs in these like filthy environments
Nasty.
and send them to like the gas
You're not even allowed to see that. Like, they'll literally hide that. They ain't gonna let you go no factory. They're not gonna let you go anywhere. You step in there, you be like, bro, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, they send you to jail here in Arkansas for that.
You cannot do that. They like, no, bro.
Yeah, they have
No
ag
public.
laws.
Like,
To expand on what Ellis is saying, like in Arkansas, they have these things called ag laws, and it makes it illegal to film inside of any agricultural place where they're raising animals.
That shit's disgusting.
Now, one
It's
thing-
that bad.
You
They
can
don't want
literally
the
smell it
public
like
to see.
miles before you get there. Like the towns around those factory farms, they all smell it, and it's because of the factory farms. That's the only reason.
I saw Supersize Me like 9th grade, and chicken nuggets were always like my favorite thing to get from McDonald's. I saw how the chicken nuggets were made, how it was just made of like literally ground up small chickens that don't have, any chance of getting deep up. They're just ground up as a whole. And it kind of set me off from McDonald's like a long time ago, and I started eating at home a little bit more, but then I started going back out. I just wasn't eating at fast food restaurants, but now I say more so it's like it's a bread thing. And what I mean by that is, let's say you only got probably about $5. You can't buy a whole meal at the grocery store for $5. So the natural thing is don't feel like cooking. I don't
Yeah,
want to
and you know, to expand on what you're saying, the meat replacements are expensive.
Yeah.
Morningstar Farms, they can be pretty expensive. But on the flip side of that, right, some of the cheapest foods in the grocery store are vegan. Like dry beans, right? Like I had that for lunch. I just had some like slow cooked lima beans with a little bit of vegan butter. Now I did go buy like a Beyond Broad and Faster All for because I was out there. But, you know, some of the least expensive foods in the grocery store are vegan. Fresh produce, you know, canned beans, lentils, rice, and we can fix these up to like be better than animal products, right? So I mean, but I'll get back to the question I was asking earlier. Do you think taste is a good reason, like our taste preference, to like confine or grind up like a baby in the grinder, like in the sun?
When you say it like that,
Be honest.
then it's like once I'm tasting it, I'm gonna think about like, okay, the process in which it's have to go through, and me being like an empathetic person, I feel a lot of stuff, even if it's just not, you know, like human, like if a dog was just to get hit or get stepped on or something like that. It's like,
Yeah, you feel some type of way.
I feel some type of way about it. So in terms of that, yeah, the taste would be very good.
Yeah. Go for it.
Now look, now if we was in World War III and you couldn't go to the grocery store, that's a different situation. You gotta make it do what it do, because the world ain't what it used to be. You can't just go in the forest to find some fruits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta do what you gotta do at that time. But right now we got grocery stores, we got the farmers markets, we got all type of things to make it easier to do whatever you want to do with your food. So, you know what I'm saying? Just remember that. Just remember that.
Yeah.
We not in survival mode.
Right. That's a good point. You know, even Dollar General, Dollar Tree, they've got dry beans, they've got rice, they've got pasta, you know, they've got all this stuff. So I guess the question now, Zachary, would be, what is holding you back from going vegan? Like, what would stop you from, to stop causing the systemic abuse of I know that was a mouthful.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm not gonna say his name. So a long time ago, I had some friends or whatever. Like they started out being vegetarian. So it went from being vegetarian to like, if you come over, you can't bring anything from home in here. Like this, that, and the third. It's kind of like, okay, I'll accept that. You know, it's a new house, new room type thing. I get it. But then now it's like months down the line, you're literally begging people to eat stuff. Well, we should naturally just be able to like come to it. Like for one, I love vegan food. Imagine vegan in Memphis, top 10, very good. So it was just the way that it was presented to me that was just kind of like, it's like my mom trying to tell me, oh, you need to eat your vegetables or you need to eat your beans before you go to sleep. This, that, and the third. Growing up in my household, if you didn't eat everything, like you were either gonna go to bed starving or get an ass whipping. Like this is how it was, because if you don't eat, then you go to school the next day. You just go about life. It's like
you don't like being told what to do.
Yeah, it was just the approach. If I would have heard it like just naturally through conversation and stuff, I would not have a problem. I'd say probably 40% be vegan. I would take no, seriously though. I would take time out of the months to not eat any meat or eat anything and just go straight vegan, because I literally have this thing to where if I go to McDonald's, Burger King, any kind of burger joint.
Now Burger King has the Impossible Law.
Now the Impossible
Gotta
Law is
tell
pretty
them
good.
no mayo.
No mayo, no cheese.
No cheese.
It was pretty
And
good.
the fries are vegan too.
Oreos are also vegan.
Yeah. You know, I eat a lot of those. You know, we're both big guys and stuff. But you know, I'll ask you this. I think it's important for me as someone advocating for animals, because that's why I do these interviews. Is I want to try to wake people up to something that was so positive in my own life. You know, and I think animals are just like us, right? You know, chickens, cows, pigs, they have families. You know, when someone cuts them with a knife, they feel pain. But when someone cuts like a lettuce or, you know, a tomato or tofu with a knife, right? It's they're not feeling pain.
I get tired of people saying,
So, Zachary, you said you don't like being told what to do, but think about this. You know, when someone pays a corporation like McDonald's money, they're not just telling the animals what to do. They're forcing the animals to like end their lives. I mean, do you think that that's like an atrocity, like worth, adjusting
Worth your bacon
lifestyle a little bit?
Worth the bacon.
It's really not worth it. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not worth it.
Is it worth a double D?
Because if we were in the situation of the chicken, the cow, or the pig, right? Like we'd be scared shitless.
Hell yeah.
You know, I've seen so much slaughterhouse footage, and it fucks with your psyche a little time. But you know, the cows are intelligent. Like that's there's another activist named Joey Cardstrong, and the cow, when they were in the small family slaughterhouse, they could smell the blood on the capital pistol. And this gun they shoot the cows in the head. They call it humane, but it's not. And the cow knocked that shit like off the table. What do you think about that?
So, how I found out about the bolt gun, which kind of just terrified me about the bolt gun.
I don't have a bolt gun. I'm just a chill beat.
No, you good. You good. I was watching It. I think it was chapter 1 or chapter 2.
It won.
Yeah. I think it was It 1. His grandfather was basically saying it's either them or us, because it was his turn to basically slaughter a cow or a sheep or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he shot it and it didn't go off, but once his grandpa kind of just instilled that, hey, like, you can either be like them or you could be like me behind the bolt gun or whatever. And that kind of, it showed me like, okay, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, nobody really gives a fuck and nobody cares to a certain extent, because, time and time in, like, I'm either going to be the sheep or I'm going to be the person behind the gun.
Yeah.
But also, like,
today we don't. I think what happened to the sheep was realistic.
Yeah.
But today, we don't have to choose between killing an animal and being killed ourselves. Would you agree?
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. Because like I said, like, at the end of the day is going to end. It's going to be a day where I die. It's going to be a day where we all just have to die, whether we survive.
And I want a clean conscience when making
Yeah, seriously.
I'm not that religious, but I want a clean conscience.
What he did was he broke down your whole argument right there, but you didn't realize he broke down your whole argument.
Yeah, and you have such a good resource here. Ellis, he's been vegan for like 5 years.
No, seriously.
He'll help you out.
He was my size, and then, like, he came back from Atlanta and was just like, yeah, bro, I went to Atlanta and I went vegan. And it really showed, because he started doing, like, more, how could I say, like, we watch anime a lot.
Yeah.
So he was training with the katana a lot. He was doing like a lot of parkour and stuff like that. So it was just like, okay, cool. I'll probably change my eating habits. I could do the same thing. But it also stems from emotion as well. Like, I'm an emotional person.
Right.
Like,
and we have emotional attachments to food.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. Sometimes I get upset where whatever situation happens throughout the day. If I'm mad, I'm gonna eat.
Yeah, and I get it. You can't like throw everything in your refrigerator away right now. We don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, we don't. We literally don't.
Maybe in a week, go to the grocery store. Maybe you can like save some money.
Oh yeah, no, seriously. Like I've gotten
when you hungry, go make you some rice and beans.
I've gotten some Morningstar patties before. Like, seriously, the Morningstar patties, I definitely say way better than Chick-fil-A and way better than McDonald's. And just me being me, like, I'll probably mess around, eat some sandwiches, and just kind of be full of that, and just think, like, that is something that, I'm thinking, like, I joke with him a lot. Like, when he first became a vegan, we were like, oh shit, he's a vegan. Yeah. But then it's like, okay, I see the benefits of him being a vegan, and like the things that he takes in and how his immune system and stuff is now versus when he was my size and we were running around, going to eat everything basically.
Yeah, and there are health benefits to it.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, it's hot as hell out here, and I appreciate you, Zachary, and Ellis spending time. I got some resources. I'm going to hook you up with my number too, in case you have any questions. But
I got you.
Thank you all so much for stopping to talk with me.
Thank you. No problem at all. It's no problem at all.